most trustless name in news.
Digging deep, diving down into the rabbit hole, researching what others cannot see. That is our differentiator. It's what sets us apart from others. It's what we do best. And today we are going to use this skill to uncover the cryptocurrencies the world's richest are utilizing and likely buying. What cryptos do the billionaires like? We'll find out in about 10 minutes because it's time for Chico Crypto. If you just ask the question, which crypto assets are the billionaires of this world buying? 9 out of 10 times you would receive the same answer. People would say, well, since the Bitcoin ETF is now approved and live for trading, billionaires are buying Bitcoin.
It's wild what's going on.
Which isn't untrue. Bitcoin recorded over $4.5 billion worth of volume on its first day of trading, making it the most successful ETF launch in history. And this volume is holding strong. Even after the first day hype began to fade, we can see Monday of this week, it still saw over 4.3 billion worth of volume. Obviously, some rich mofos are finally getting their chance to dive into Bitcoin. Billionaires are likely buying Bitcoin. Although this is a very broad view, no specific name of the billionaire or naires that are buying Bitcoin. How about getting more specific? How about naming specific billionaires and the crypto assets they are utilizing and likely buying? What about the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Dimon? This would come as a shock to some because of what Mr. Dimon said just a month ago. Here was his views on crypto.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case because it is somewhat anonymous, not fully, and because you can move money instantaneously, and because it doesn't go through, as you mentioned, all these systems have been built up over many years, know your customer, sanctions, OFAC, they can bypass all of that. If I was the government, I'd close it down.
Well, if you just heard that statement, it would be hard to believe that this guy is diving deep into cryptocurrency. But let me tell you, Chico Army, him and his bank have been for some time now. JP Morgan has been investing in the application of blockchain in its business since 2015. For over 8 years, they have undertaken over 60 proof of concepts focused on both internal and external client-facing blockchain initiatives. Like in 2016, just 1 year after Ethereum launched, guess who decided to soft fork ETH and create a bank-grade enterprise chain? JP Morgan did, which we can confirm from this 2016 CoinDesk article. And from the article, they didn't develop it alone. It says called QUORUM. The platform was developed in partnership with Ethereum startup ETH Lab and is one of the first projects to come out of a working group within the bank. Well, guess what? If you didn't know, ETH Lab was a consulting agency from one of the founders of Ethereum, Jeff Wilke. Obviously, JP Morgan is close to Ethereum. Likely, JP Morgan already has a big old freaking bag of ETH and has since 2016 or even before.
I knew it.
But JP Morgan and Mr. Dimon go much deeper into the world of cryptocurrencies, even beyond Ethereum. So let's keep digging and diving deeper. Have you ever heard of JP Morgan's ONYX? Well, in 2020, JP Morgan went from just playing around with Ethereum and testing it through QUORUM to bringing forward a product that was going to revolutionize their bank. So they launched JP Morgan ONYX.
We are transforming the future of banking. We are ONYX by JP Morgan.
So what is ONYX? Well, from some ONYX docs we can see, ONYX Digital Assets is a general-purpose tokenization platform that ONYX established in 2020 and has processed more than 900 billion in tokenized assets since launch as an EVM blockchain with connectivity to JP Morgan infrastructure. So after testing with QUORUM, JP Morgan decided to go the path of Ethereum with their finished product, ONYX. And former managing director of JP Morgan, Christine Moy, who led JP Morgan's blockchain and crypto program, has spoken on ONYX and its relation to Ethereum back in 2021. Let's listen to what Christine had to say.
The blockchain team is certainly doing a lot of research around DeFi, non-fungible tokens. I mean, like I said, we've been very closely linked to the public blockchain and cryptocurrency and crypto asset space for quite some time. I think it's telling that all of our projects are, on an Ethereum variant, as an example. That's intentional. And I think that as a bank, many did not agree with that approach early on, but now it's sort of playing through as being relevant. Basically, we are so in tune with the public blockchain, cryptocurrency, and crypto asset space that, there's pretty much nothing that we won't do.
JP Morgan is fully in tune with the public blockchain space. They're looking at DeFi, NFTs, the whole public kit and caboodle. So besides Ethereum, who is JP Morgan looking at in the altcoin, DeFi, or NFT space? What protocols are they working with? Well, back at the end of 2022, JP Morgan went full on DeFi crazy. They executed their first DeFi trade on a public blockchain. The trade was facilitated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore and Singapore's largest bank, DBS Bank, and then also Tokyo-based banking firm SBI Digital Asset Holdings. The live cross-currency transaction was conducted involving tokenized Singaporean dollar and Japanese yen deposits, along with a simulated exercise of buying and selling tokenized government bonds. But what blockchain and DeFi protocol was used? Well, from the article, the trade was executed on Ethereum Layer 2 network Polygon using a modified version of the AAVE protocol's smart contract code. So JP Morgan likely is a fan of the Ethereum Layer 2 Polygon for scaling. And for the supply and borrowing aspect of the transaction, they loved AAVE. But did AAVE help out JP Morgan? Well, when the transaction happened, AAVE tweeted about it. A big old tweet thread that explained how the transaction went down. They said the AAVE protocol was utilized by involving the supply and borrowing of tokenized foreign exchange transactions using SGD tokenized deposits, first issuance of tokenized deposits by a bank issued by JP Morgan, and JPY tokenized assets issued by SBI Digital Asset Holdings. Obviously, AAVE helped out, or they wouldn't have had that much detailed information. The codebase for the pilot wasn't public. Now, it's been over a year since JP started going full throttle into DeFi. Have they gone any deeper into this world? You bet your bottom Bitcoin they have. Now, the head of ONYX right now is Tyrone Lobban. From his LinkedIn, we can see he's the managing director, head of blockchain launch and ONYX digital assets at ONYX by JP Morgan. From his experience, we can see Tyrone is part of the EA, Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and also was QUORUM's head of product. Thus, Tyrone has been a part of JP's blockchain strategy for a long time. He's a key component. But what does Tyrone have to do with anything? Well, this will make sense in a second. Now, have you ever heard of CanDID? Well, going to the website, we can see it's a digital identity solution. But doing a simple browse of the website, there isn't much telling about it. It's just a simple overview and a list of the team members. But when you take a deeper look into the team members, you see Tyrone Lobin and Christine Moy of JP Morgan are a part of this team. But then also the chief scientist of Chainlink, Ari Jules. But then looking at the team members of CanDID and the team members of Chainlink Research, you get a clear picture. Ari Jules is on both. Andrew Miller is on both. But also, Fan Zhang is on both. JP Morgan, Chainlink, and CanDID. But when you dive into the details of CanDID, we get confirmation it's using Chainlink. In the white paper it says, CanDID leverages an oracle, specifically either Deco or Town Creer. Both are Chainlink products to port identities and credentials securely from existing web services. Obviously, Chainlink is another altcoin JP Morgan is utilizing. You get this when you pick off those breadcrumbs off the floor. But it doesn't stop there with old JP. There were a couple crypto projects they announced they were working with just a couple months ago. This tweet from MetaQuant sums it up very nicely. They said, "You might have already forgotten, but only 2 months ago, JP Morgan was also testing through Layer 0 and other interoperability protocols the Avalanche network as a potential partner of its permission network ONYX." But they also included the docs JP Morgan put together, showing the utilization of both AAVE subnets and Layer 0. Jamie Dimon may say he hates crypto, but his bank, JP Morgan, loves Ethereum, Polygon, AAVE, Chainlink, Avalanche, and Layer 0. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in news.